Yes, Adrian, on the day the province's vaccine booking portal opened up, the Ontario Hospital Association declared the third wave has begun. It says hospitalizations and ICU cases are rising, and as for the highly contagious variants, well, the province's advisory table has concluded they make up 49% of new cases. Now take a look at this graph. The blue side shows the decline of the original COVID strain. It's been beaten down. The orange, though, shows the steep rise in variants. They have a reproductive value of 1.41, which is very high. So is this really a third wave? Well, Ontario's top doctor believes this could be the base of the third wave, but says what happens next is still to be determined.
The modelers are looking at to say that we could be going into a third wave. Whether we're in a true third wave is always, as they always say, one of our people on our team says, you can always tell you're in it after it's over when it's up there. We have to see we're in this dip and coming up. Is it a slight undulation? Is it a large wave? Is it a moderate wave? To be determined.
Dr. Williams repeated this is a race against time with vaccines versus variants. And today, Premier Doug Ford said the province has the capacity to vaccinate close to 5 million people every month. But the current rollout is only a quarter of that due to limited supply.
I'm begging the federal government, please get more vaccines to us. Instant supply of vaccines. That's our challenge right now. That J&J, that's a one shot, bing, bang, boom, you're done.
The Premier says this week Ontario will not get as many vaccines, but in following weeks, Canada will receive 1 million a week. Ontario should get 40% of those. Now, the Premier also slipped in that retired General Rick Hillier will be leaving his role in a couple of months. He's been heading up the vaccine task force and distribution force. The government says he was always going to depart at the end of the month. The General will be leaving just as Phase 2 starts rolling out. And one more note for you. Conservative MPP Sam Oosterhoff is raising yet another controversy. He's attending an anti-abortion event that's linked to a group that compares abortion to the Holocaust. The Premier says that comparison should not be made, and he's going to talk to his MPP tonight. Oosterhoff has already stepped in the mud before. A few months ago, he was heavily criticized for breaking masking and grouping restrictions at a restaurant.